Here we go. So with the exhibition tournaments finishing just over 2 weeks ago, I've been trying to fit in videos about other things. Obviously, we've had the brand new Freya release, along with the Skull and Hardy update, which has been extremely exciting, that's for sure. I've had my first couple attempts at the new Demonic Beast battle, and, well, I definitely have some opinions about it, that's for sure, but there's one team that I really wanted to try out from the finals of the exhibition tournament. All of the finals were done on the JP livestream for the Ragnarok update, and it was this team here, pretty much trying to make DIANE as immortal as possible, via the fact that we have the red molescular passive, making it so that if she dies, revives an ally that dies, the revived ally is fixated to 1 HP for 3 turns. Along with that, we have the Skadi passive playing into effect, giving debuffs to the enemy, increasing, I think it said defense? Yeah, all of their attack and defense related stats by 8%, and increases the allies' skill damage by 15% for each debuff on the hero. So trying to buff up the end as much as possible. Unfortunately, we only have the 269, which if only they'd just bring her back for, even as just in a banner or to purchase with coins, I'd be happy with anything at this point. But if you guys don't know what the DIANE does, her first card here, inflicts pulverized damage equal to 450% of attack on one enemy. If the hero's ultimate move gauge has 4 orbs or more, removes 1 orb from the enemy's ultimate move gauge. Her second card assumes a stance for 3 turns, which increases HP related stats by 30% and taunts enemies. The ultimate inflicts quell damage equal to 418% of attack on all enemies, then heals HP of all allies by 5% of damage dealt. And then last, her passive, when taking damage from the enemy, increases the hero's damage dealt by 10% up to 50%, combines up to 500,000% of damage taken by skills and skill effects, then increases damage dealt by 20% of the accumulated amount, then decreases allies' damage taken by 40% whilst the stance is active. Some of the character skills and passives are getting so long at this point. Having a look at the gear, we're rocking the HP defense set, and her cosmetics should be completely maxed out, I believe. Yeah, I gave her the festival treatment, so this is the team we're using today. One of the main reasons why it took so long to get this showcase out is because it's super important that we have the Holy Relic, the SR Elizabeth. Holy Relic increases allies' HP related stats by 15%. Also very important if you're wanting to use the green SR Elizabeth for Skull and Hardy, that you get this one as well, but this is the team we're using today, and let's jump right into it. And not too sure how this team's going to go. We are missing a whole bunch of CC just due to some of the characters missing out on their level 100s and all those other kind of factors, but definitely keen to see how it's going to work. Not the greatest matchup starting us off here against the Valenti. I think I might just start chipping into the DIANE right off the bat, get these Skadi debuffs on. I'd probably be best actually putting a Sario Grace on as well. I might do that as we get to the next match, that way we can get more value out of the Skadi. That's right, even though there was the evasion there, we will still get the debuffs, but there were some really interesting teams throughout the entire of the exhibition tournaments. A lot of those ult rush kind of teams as well. They're super strong in the meta at this point, all of the goddess teams, stuff like that, but I did showcase 2 other teams which I found really interesting. One was a Tamio ult control one, that was very fancy. Using the Blue True Seeker Merle and Jack of Light Gotha and Tamio with his Holy Relic is very strong. Surprisingly worked really well, Tamio, alongside the 2 unknown characters, but let's see what we can go for here. The second DIANE gets that taunt up, should become such a nuisance. Let's go 1. We could have rushed the Skadi ult, in all honesty. We're in a pretty good spot. I think we might just get that done. We do have a 5/6 Skadi. Not the strongest ultimate in the world when it comes to damage, but unfortunately starting off the video with a Valenti Patience team. Man, this is not going to be fun. I mean, they're very strong teams, and even for the brand new Skull and Hardy, I've seen quite a few of the Stage 3 completion teams, or it might just be the Stage 1 completion teams, but quite a few people are using this Valenti as well, so she's definitely aged well, that's for sure. A unit that's getting close to that 3 years old. Yeah, getting near that 3 years old and still being... The fact that she's even viable in content still is absolutely absurd. Such a strong passive. When they made the Blue Lilia, they really messed up and needed to balance her out in that way. So King has his ultimate. No one's taking damage at this point either, so might go for this. I'll move the DIANE and then we will... Not like we can remove his ultimate anyway. Yeah, kind of stuck right here. Haven't got any taunts either. I think I might just rush the DIANE. I'll go full send into his DIANE. That's going to be our best bet. I think this one might just be an auto loss. His team comp is way stronger than ours, and I'm guessing he has the red Tamio on his DIANE as well. We'll see if he gets to heal back after this. Yeah. Unfortunately, I have red Tamio, he's 2/6, so I feel like I just end up missing out on too many stats that it doesn't end up being worth it. Much rather have the extra CC, extra tank ability. Let's see what he's getting able to do though. Hopefully I always say this, but not being able to see your opponent's damage as well is such a big miss from Netmarble. Let's see it though, will he one-tap? Get rid of the Molescular, which is kind of to be expected. That is going to be a strong King Shield and removes our DIANE ultimate. Oh no, hasn't got enough ult gauge yet. Haven't got the taunt effect. I might throw off these ultimates and we'll get into the next match, but obviously the person who was using this team in the tournament had a much more well-thought version of their sits. Honestly, the whole thought behind it is so interesting, and it on paper works really well, and even went as far ahead, I believe, to winning the tournament, so absolutely crazy. These people with 12 million box CC. Absurd. I can barely hit the 10 million box CC. There's still so many people that have done that as well. That's what the Skadi looks like. Absolutely love the Hawk Pass skin for Skadi. Yeah, Valenti's passive broken. One thing I would definitely like to talk about though is, like I said previously, I did do my first couple attempts at the Skull and Hardy. I did get done at the first stage, and yeah, I'm not too sure how I feel about that whole kind of final boss. I say final boss, about that Demonic Beast battle. It was so insanely difficult compared to the first one, and I know when the bird released, people weren't able to beat the third floor for quite some time, and you know, we've already had several people be able to beat the third floor, but the amount of RNG that goes into it, and I feel like most of these developers, they clear the first floor and they're like, okay, let's just make the second and third floor and not actually have anyone in the development team beat it, because it takes a serious amount of time. I believe Mazing spent an entire day trying to get the second floor done, only for him to be able to do a live stream of the third floor. Did a whole, I think it was quite a few hours, that's for sure, but didn't get it done in that time. Granted, he has got it done now, but I still have yet to try and complete the second floor. It's especially what they've done with Freya as well, making it so you have to get him to 6-6 to even stand a chance against the third floor. I don't mess with that. It's at the point where I don't want to give my money to Netmarble for that reason, but at the same time I'm so stubborn that I'll probably end up buying the gems anyways. What do we want to go for? We could try and rush the DIANE ultimate. I think I might go for this. Maximize card draw as well. We're not having anyone attack into us, which is very, very surprising. Even if we do, DIANE just ends up being so tanky. If you let DIANE build up to a full kind of passive, she is so insanely broken. Trader melee levels are broken as well, but yeah, that's how I feel about the Skull and Hardy. I will try my hardest to get the second floor done in time for the actual reset. I really want to get the materials. It's less about wanting to get the content done, but I don't want them to release a Assault Meliodas Holy Relic or something like that and miss out, and that kind of stuff seems super fun to me. All of the demons are, some of them aren't the most broken or like viable of characters, but end up being some of the more fun characters in the game. Green Munspeed is a perfect example. There's another matchup where why do we have to face up into Barn and Valenti, two of the tankiest teams in the game? Probably not the greatest idea that I try to use this team where our only source of damage is going to be DIANE's ultimate, and I have a 2-6. Terrible idea on my behalf, but once again, we can watch Barn one-tap us just like King did in that last one. Arthur is so tanky as well. I remember how many people thought he was the biggest skip unit. People were kind of comparing him to what they do with the Captain Meliodas now, where everyone was like, why would you summon for this man? And the very next up they gave us Purgatory Barn, and they made that very clear. They even ended up extending the banner, because so little people actually went ahead and summoned. Loving the Tuxedo Barn though. What do we reckon? 1 million? Everyone was like 400,000 there, so easily over 1 million. But by all means, if you guys have gone ahead and attempted the brand new Skull and Hardy, let me know how you feel about that one in the comments section down below. I'm still working on a guide to expect that to be within the next video or two, but yeah, it's pretty much the same thing throughout all three of the stages, or at least from what I've heard, it's kind of like the deer in that sense, whereas I mean, I know the bird every single floor. Your whole first floor is pretty much no passives until the final one, where you have the crazy damage reduction and all that kind of stuff. A lot of stuff to remember throughout that one. Going straight for the Molescular. She is really low. I'm disappointed Melee did that much damage, but quite a good heal back. Look at that from the Elizabeth in the back. Broken, I tell you. Let's put out the DIANE taunt, and then do we want to start shipping into Melee as well? I think going for that as well is going to be our best bet. That way we have the buff removal. Remove all of those blue buffs that he built up from that turn. Good that we're finally versing a team that we're going to do decently well against. Even though we got massively out-CC'd, I still feel like we have a good chance against this one. Look at that, and if we had the Holy Relic for Skadi, granted, I don't exactly know what the Holy Relic does, but it'd be helping her out a ton in this sense. Or we could get a DIANE ultimate as well in this next turn. Yeah, as many of those debuffs we can get up. Actually, I forgot to put on the green Sariel passive. That's something I might have to move her over and do. We have the HP defense set as well for Sariel now, which is good. The Infect card gonna be annoying though, or the Infect debuff, I should say. Yeah, she taking some crazy damage there. That's alright, we can get rid of melee in this next one. Let's go. If we do this, we won't have the DIANE ultimate's the only thing. I think it's still best we go for that. I think that's our best chance of killing off the Melios, and we just have to deal with Jack of Light go through and the Rim Ruin. Whoever he has in the back as well could be kind of scary. I'm surprised Scotty's putting up as good a damage as she is as well. She is on the attack defense set. There we go. Maybe we could have killed without removing the buffs. I don't think the defense related or the like stat buffs were helping his tanking ability all that much. Surely he has a green unit in the back as well. Really? Bro, come on. We literally have bloody Ellie in the game and you're still wanting to use that fodder? God damn, man. At least we have the ultimate that's going to heal us a bit after we had that turn with the Infect. Watch us have or get hit by another Infect AoE. Yeah, called that from a mile away. I know better than to expect Rimuru not to just fully carry a match. I have to get through the revive as well now, which is going to be annoying. How low is our DIANE? Oh, our DIANE's very low. Might actually die to the Gotha? No, they didn't, thank God. Okay. I think we're not even going to put up the taunt at this point. I feel like it's kind of a waste cause. We'll get hit with a Rimuru attack, die, get the revive passive from the Moleskine. Oh my God. I should have gone double DIANE attack into the Skadi. If I hadn't known DIANE was going to do that much damage. I mean, look at those buffs. She's gone crazy at this point. If we get really lucky and he doesn't have any Rimuru cards, which he's already proving otherwise, god damn, we could have the Skadi ultimate heal a whole bunch of DIANE's HP. And see, I'm surprised the Moleskine held on for this long. Another Infect. There's the DIANE alive again, but Moleskine is dead. Man, honestly, we did so well on this one. If I had thrown out the double pulverize into the Skadi card at the end, I fully believe we could have won this match easily at that. Elizabeth comes to the front. Yeah, look. GG's. We were super close to winning this one. Honestly, count those two first matches out of it. They were such bad comps for us. I mean, not looking the greatest. We're 0-3 at this point, but surely we can come through with a win on this one here. Yeah, King's Shield's going to be a pain to get through. Let's go for... I think we might just go for our same starting hand again, and then put up the taunt. Having the Ludo not get the debuff on us is great. I feel like this is kind of a free win. The second you have Ludo on the enemy team and he's not getting the debuff, that's just a unit in the field that's doing nothing. You're basically chucking Kyo in there without the Ignite passive, so... I honestly, at this point, no, we're 1-2. I'm counting that last one as a win. If we had the same CC as he did on our team, we would have stomped him. Absolutely stomped him. I'm keen to see what some of these newer festivals will look like the DIANE, the Chad King, Trader Meliodas, when they get their Holy Relic. I'd really hope they try and release them as late as possible. That way they can make them as strong as possible. Because, I mean, perfect example, the one Escanor got given his Holy Relic in the second batch and got absolutely shafted for it. Because if they gave him an insanely strong Holy Relic, look, he would have just been prancing around, pretty much owning the game for the next couple months because nothing would have compared to him. So pushing those back, maybe releasing them in a month or two, and look, you'll see Trader Melios start to age a little bit and then just go straight back to the top of the food chain. Would be super sick to see that. And it's like, what are they even going to do at that point? Maybe giving Trader Meli a passive where every time he uses a single target card, he gets an extra blue buff for himself and a random ally gets an extra blue buff as well. Could be something cool, but plenty of stuff like that. Maybe giving King just an ability to make him just that little bit tankier, because I feel like that is the Chad King's one downfall. He is an extremely squishy unit. Here we go, Gotha's got the ultimate, put up the taunt again for DIANE, and I suppose we'll just remove the buff removal card. Once again, pretty much a free win going against the Ludo team without the debuff. Escanor on the back is pretty much a CC unit. Once again, I really wish he was better than he is in PvP. I will give him all the praise in PvP. Man's an absolute god there. You can use him, slap him on any team. He'll do absolute wonders, but man, the crit chance and all that other kind of stuff just isn't going for him. See the Gotha ult. Actually, as of recent on the Brownhold banner, for some reason I went back and did a couple of extra summons and managed to get the final dupe for Halloween Gotha I need, which was so goddamn hype. Finally got the 6/6 after all this time. Feel like I'm closing out and getting in all the units maxed out. I might just go for that there. Get us close to the Moleskine ult. Really good to use Moleskine as well. pretty much no PvP teams, or none of the Moleskers are really viable. With the new Skull and Hardy, you can use the green Moleskula as a replacement for Freya if you manage to summon for her, but even then, like, do my boy Amazing some justice. And I feel as if though we pretty much haven't had to use the Moleskula lifesteal card whatsoever throughout this video. I feel like the Red Elizabeth in the back's passive has done that job for us entirely, that we haven't had to worry about it. But who do we want to go for here? I think going for something like this. Does this still remove buffs at level 1? It does too. Feel kind of a waste having those two merge, but we'll go for this here. Get up the taunt, and we'll save that for when he wants to start throwing out the single target cards. We can remove that from the melee, but definitely a really, really strong team. I really, really enjoy using that Red SR Elizabeth in the back. I feel like she was a viable character before, especially for some of those final bosses and some of the more like boss-like activities. She'll be even stronger for that as well, because 15% to the HP related stats, that's extra recovery rate, that's extra regeneration rate, that's extra lifesteal. 15% lifesteal goes a long way. Put that on characters like Escanor and Trader Melee, who already have a ton of lifesteal. They really don't need any more. You can use level 3 single target cards and go straight back to full HP. Let's see here, hasn't used a crazy amount of the melee cards. We could rush DIANE ultimate. I feel like if we go for this though, we could finish off that melee before he gets the full heal with the... Well, it's not a full heal with Elizabeth, but get the heal off with Elizabeth. DIANE's a whole bunch of fun as well. I remember how much the DIANE, or this festival DIANE, was underrated upon her release, and now the Alt Rush team is one of the most toxic teams in the game. She basically makes 4v4 unrunnable this unit, and it's not entirely her. The Red Tarmiel and his Holy Relic, or his Grace, sorry, does do a lot of the work as well. It plays a massive factor in pretty much all of the teams use it. At this point, if you're not using DIANE, you'll chuck it on a unit like Green Demon Rimmer. It's super strong. The character himself and his cards, stuff like that, aren't the greatest, but man, that Grace is ridiculous. Gets the full heal. We'll get a full heal of our own. What do we want to... We could get rid of Gotha if we like next. I feel like actually going for the King might be decent. Why not? Go into Gotha, get the ultimate as well. Wonder how much damage Skardy's going to do here. Not too bad, not critting either, which means she only has room to grow. That'll do us a lot of damage. I was really hoping that'd kill, because the Dissolve is just going to remove that ultimate. Another DIANE. Man, this Moleskula, just due to the fact that we're not using any of her cards, looks like she's being such a card magnet. Full rank up for everyone. The double rank up, man, is going crazy right now. Into level 3 Dissolve, surely. I mean, they took quite some time to do that play. Surely this isn't a real player doing that, right? Let's see, we'll kill you off. And then go for the Skardy, but definitely a super fun team. It's unfortunate we didn't see a crazy amount of other teams in the exhibition tournament. I know there was someone who was using a Marmus team, but once again, if you make the teams a little bit too far-fetched, you end up losing the matches as well, which he unfortunately did. But love seeing stuff like this. Unfortunately, whenever I look at teams like this, I'm like, oh, why didn't I think of that? It works so good on paper, but I don't have that ability. The level 3 King card is going to be a pain to get through that shield. But you'll see as this turn finishes here, everyone will go straight back to full, close to full HP. Come on, let's see it. Yeah. That's, as long as we're not versing the teams that are either super tanky, or any of the teams that can just one-tap us, we're pretty much going to beat every single other matchup in the game. So any of the Valenti teams and the Barn teams, coincidentally, the two teams we versed right at the beginning of the video, they're going to be our worst matchups, but there's no way we lose this one. I might just... If he's not putting up the King Shield, we'll probably see a little bit more good damage. Well, look at Elizabeth go crazy. All the ignites in our Moleskula is not helping her either. She's kind of just staying alive for the DIANE. Don't have any of her cosmetics upgraded either. Let's go like that. I feel like the Skardy passive is putting in work now with all those ignites. DIANE one tap, question mark? If she crit, I reckon she could. Yeah, there we go. Let's wrap up the video. And there we go, that about does it for today's showcase. If you guys have any team suggestions or video suggestions, by all means let me know in the comment section down below. But once again, that about does it for today's video. Hope you guys enjoyed. Please hit like and subscribe. Really means a lot to me, and I'll see you guys for some more Grand Cross content.